Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. These past couple of months have been extremely hard with the current pandemic, so I wanted to create a new series of videos. These will be purely audio in the hopes that it gets you to sleep at night, calms you down, or just provides some entertainment. If you like this video, you'll give it a thumbs up, and if you love this video, maybe you'll subscribe. So here is the mysterious death of Kris and Lisanne. On April 1st, 2014, Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, two Dutch students, left their host family home to take the family dog on a walk through the Panamanian jungle. It would be the last time that anyone would see them. Kris was a 21-year-old and she was described as open, creative and responsible. Lisanne was 22 years old and a volleyball player who was incredibly intelligent. Both grew up in Amersfoort and both had university degrees in applied science and art education. They were also inseparable. They were living together and had worked at the same cafe. They had also spent 6 months planning their trip to Panama and were saving up for this trip. It was supposed to serve as a part vacation, part service trip. They had planned on spending some time hiking, touring, while also volunteering with local children, teaching arts and crafts and learning Spanish. They arrived in Panama for a 6-week vacation on the 15th of March 2014. They toured Panama for 2 weeks before arriving to Boquete on March the 29th to live with a local family for a month while volunteering with the children. It's important to know that hiking wasn't something that was new to the women. They had been hiking for 2 weeks already in the Panamanian jungle as part of a backpacking course. So where did it all go wrong? At 11 AM on the 1st of April, Kris and Lisanne waved goodbye to their hosting family as they did every morning since they were there. They went on a hike with their host's dog, and it was near the clouded forest that surrounded the Barry volcano. They were never seen again. The women had written a Facebook post that they had intentions to hike the forest nearby. They also wrote that they had breakfast with 2 other tourists who were Dutch before embarking on the trail. That night, their host became alarmed when the dog returned home without Kris and Lisanne. With the women nowhere to be found, the host family searched the area around their home, but for unknown reasons, they decided to wait until the morning to alert authorities. Also, the daily messages Lisanne was sending to her family stopped that day. The next day, on the 2nd of April, Kris and Lisanne missed an appointment with a local guide. This was really strange as they were really looking forward to this. It was this absence that really worried the host's family and prompted them to alert the authorities. On the 3rd, the following day, an aerial search of the forest was conducted, as well as a foot search by local residents and police. By the 6th of April, the 2 women were still missing. Fearing the worst, Kris and Lisanne's families flew to Panama, bringing with them detectives from the Netherlands. Along with local police and dog units, they searched the forest for 10 days. The parents even offered a £30,000 reward. Days turned into weeks, and after 10 weeks there had still been no sign of Kris and Lisanne. Then, just as police were slowing their search efforts at the end of 10 weeks, a local woman turned in a blue backpack which she said she had found by a riverbank near her village of Alto Romero, near Boquete, where they had last been seen. The backpack contained 2 pairs of sunglasses, $83, a water bottle, 2 bras, and Lisanne's passport. What worried authorities was the local woman's certainty that the backpack was not there the previous day, as she passed the riverbank daily and she didn't see it the day before. At the bottom was the most important evidence. It was Lisanne's camera and both of the women's phones. Police immediately investigated the camera and the phones and came up with disturbing evidence. The phones had remained in service for almost 10 days after the women disappeared. And over just 4 days, 77 separate attempts had been made to call the police, both via 112, the emergency number in the Netherlands, and 911, the emergency number in Panama. None of the calls had managed to go through due to the lack of reception in the area, except for one 911 call that was attempted on the 3rd of April, one day after they went missing. That call lasted a second before being cut off. Lisanne's phone was used for the last time at 5 a.m. on the 5th of April, before her battery went dead, and Kris's phone was repeatedly turned on and off in search for signal, but no further calls were made. The following day, disturbing activity on Kris's phone appeared as multiple attempts of false PIN codes were entered into her phone. The right PIN code was never entered. On the 11th of April, the phone was turned on at 10:51 and was turned off for the last time at 11:56. Though the call log was disturbing and suspicious, it was nothing compared to the camera. The photos on the camera showed them on a trail near the Continental Divide, though nothing about them led the police to become suspicious of these. However, the second set of photos was worrisome. Taken in the dead of night, between the hours of 1 and 4 a.m. on the 8th of April, over 90 flash photos were taken. It showed the girls' belongings spread out on rocks, plastic bags, and candy wrappers. It showed oddly piled mounds of dirt, a mirror, and most worrisome, the back of Lisanne's head with blood leaking from her temple. Searches then began near where the backpack was found, and police soon discovered Kris's clothes, neatly folded along the river. 2 months later, in the same area, a pelvic bone and a foot still inside the boot were found. And soon after that, at least 33 widely scattered bones were discovered along the same riverbank. DNA testing confirmed that they did belong to both women. Lisanne's bones still had some skin attached to them, and it appeared of natural decomposition. However, Kris's bones appeared to have been bleached, as they were incredibly white, and a pathologist later stated that the bones were completely smooth, with no natural markings or scrapes that he would have expected to have seen. Police questioned the locals, tour guides, and other hikers who had been in the area at the time due to the suspicious nature, but nothing besides the photos and call logs provided them with any evidence as to what happened. There wasn't even enough evidence to determine the cause of death. To this day, the disappearance and deaths of Kris Kremers and Lisanne Froon remain a harrowing mystery. Do you think that the two Dutch men who had had breakfast with the ladies earlier that morning before they went missing had anything to do with it? Or do you think that it was an accident? Thank you very much for listening. You're with Mysteries with Pippa. Until next time.